Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk about the greed of not wanting abundance. Now, this is very different from the way a lot of people approach life. They'll say, well, if you want more, if you want to have an abundance, if you want to have a rich life, rich finances, rich in wealth, oh, you're greedy. But I'm going to tell you something that's really greedy, that many people, because it's socially acceptable to be this form of greedy, it's not socially acceptable to be that greedy CEO who's making millions of dollars a year and his poor innocent employees are making a fraction of what he makes, even though they don't add much value. They don't add anywhere near the value that he adds to the company. And so people don't understand value. They don't understand adding value and being more useful to the company you're working for, your own company, for your customers. How many people are going through life just barely doing the bare minimum and then wondering why they don't get promotions and get ahead and have the same income as the CEO when they don't do what the CEO does? But there's this mentality out there of just doing enough. People sometimes dress it up and, well, I'm just trying to put food on the table for my family, which is nonsense. They're not hurting for food. Look around, the average person today is obese. They're not hurting for food. They're not going through some lean times and starving, and they're having trouble putting food in the table. They got too much food in the table. But they have focused on self so much. They're so self-absorbed. They're so self-focused. They don't think about anyone else besides themselves. They might in ways that gets them attention or gets them a pat on the back, gets somebody to recognize them. But actual, true, heartfelt concern for other people and desire to bless other people is not present at all in their hearts and minds. When you hear someone talk about, I'm just trying to feed my family, or I'm just concerned about me and mine, I'm just trying to get enough for us, that's not noble. That's not humble. It's greedy. It's evil, because you only want enough to take care of you and your family. You don't care about other people. You don't care about anybody else. Only about you. It's such a selfish mentality, and it's so perverted, and it's so tragically applauded and act like it's a normal thing for average people to talk about. Well, just trying to take care of my family. What about other people? You have no concern for anybody else besides yourself, besides your family? You not see how ignoble that is? It's not a good thing. It's not a blessed way to behave. It's not a Christian mentality at all. And I want you to think about this. Is it greedy to want more because you want your family to have a good life? Because you want your neighbors to have a blessed life? Because you know someone in need and you want to help them? Because you want to build a hospital somewhere? Because you want to maybe found a school? Is it evil to want more, to want to live in a state of abundance where you can bless people? Where you hear about some family losing their house in a fire and you could write a check to buy them a brand new house? Is that evil? See, there's a different way of thinking about life. There's a different way of approaching life. You could approach the way everyone else does, the average people do, where they're just focused about themselves. They're just focused on their family, which is just an extension of them. It's all about them and their family. They don't care about anyone else. Or you can raise yourself to another level. Now, the reason why people don't do this is because it is hard. It takes some effort. And so many people are out there living lazy, indolent lives, just doing the bare minimum. They think their apathy is somehow noble. They think God is somehow looking down upon them and happy with their indolent, lazy, apathetic, mediocre, self-absorbed, self-centered lives, and he's not. Yes, you take care of your family, of course. I'm not telling you to avoid that responsibility. I'm telling you to raise your standard to a higher level. You should be focused on what more good can you do. Your family's got their needs met? Great. What about other people? What good can you do? What blessings can you unleash into the world? Now, people often do this in perverted ways. They'll be in the United States and they'll be, well, this country in Africa is having this problem. Listen, you have people right next door to you that have issues that you could finance, that you could help, that you could bless. And you're looking across the world to help people you don't even know. And you don't even know for sure if that need actually exists. And if the money you're going to send is actually going to go to the people who need it, or is it going to go to some warlord, or is it going to go to some charity that eats it up and all their administrative costs and all this nonsense? The scripture literally says that God sets the bounds of your habitation, meaning he wants you to be in that place for that particular point in time, for that particular need, and you instead ignore the need that's right around you, right around the corner, literally next door to you, and instead you look across the world to find a need, when there's needs all around you. God's placed you here to help meet the need, to help be a blessing, to help give. But don't think that your giving is somehow going to be a net negative to you. That is how so many people approach life. They think giving means that money's going out and that's it. No, Jesus said, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. If you are operating from a different state, an abundant state, where you're not just wanting enough for only you, you're not that greedy person who's only focused on self. You want to be a true blessing in the world, you need more. If you have a family of 2 right now, what if you want to have a 3rd child? Do you need more for that? Of course you do. What about a 4th child? What if you're going to adopt a child? You need more money. You need more funds. You need an abundance. This is not just about selfishness. It's not just about you going and buying a bunch of houses and cars and fancy clothes or whatever. No. But you need to be in an abundant state of mind to where you have an abundance, where you live in financial abundance and wealth and riches. The scripture says of the righteous man, it says, his seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. Now, I want you to think about this. Why are wealth and riches not in your house? Why do you not even have a house if you don't have a house? Do you see that there's a different way of approaching life? A righteous way, a godly way, a way that expects more from you? Yeah, listen, this is not going to expect less of you. This is not going to allow you to shrink back and do less and be less. You're going to have to rise to the occasion. You're going to have to raise your standard to the next level. Becoming that person who's blessed in the Lord, who has wealth and riches in their houses even, who has a blessed life, who's a friend of God, who like Abraham is very rich in gold. Not so you can consume it upon your own lust, not so you can just have a bunch of things. Because once you get really blessed and you can have whatever you want, you can literally buy anything you want, you start to realize how useless and trivial these material possessions are. And you start to not even be concerned with what the latest gadget or car or whatever. So many people are buying those things to fill a void in their lives. They think if I get the next car, I get this new Bugatti, then I'm going to somehow be loved. Then I'm going to somehow be treasured. Then people are going to see that I'm successful. There's nothing wrong with any of those great blessed possessions, but so many people are doing it for the wrong reasons. They're not doing it because of what they really want. They're doing it because they want other people to like them or other people to see them in a certain way. But when you have raised your standard to the next level, you're operating at a completely different level. You don't care about the material possessions of the world, even though you can have anything you want. You could buy a Bugatti, you don't care. You can drive a Kia. You could drive whatever. It doesn't matter because that's not about you. Those possessions do not define you. But you are blessed and you can do the things you want to do and be the blessing you want to be in this life and truly be a person, a seed of Abraham that is blessed to be a blessing, that by the very grace of God and the blessings you've received of him, because you've been submitted to his will, because you've done things in a productive and useful way, because you've redeemed the time because the days are evil, because you have been a person of diligence and substance and character, and you're so blessed and abundant that you can freely give and you freely receive. You can freely bless people and more comes back to you. My friend, you can live a blessed and abundant life, but you can't get trapped by the world's way of thinking, by professing Christianity's way of thinking of mediocrity and lack and limitation and scarcity. You should be living the abundant life. Jesus came that you might have life and that more abundantly. You should be living that abundant life right here and now. And do not let the greed of poverty, the greed of lack, the greed of limitation, the greed of scarcity come into your life and rule you and cause you to be limited and weak and pathetic and mediocre and average. You, my friend, should be mighty in God. You, my friend, should have wealth and riches in your house. As Psalm chapter 112 verse 3 says, you should be that blessed, upright person who glorifies God in all that they do, and their life is truly blessed and abundant. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.